We're live. You need to be doing that now, LadyKnight. Maria.
The Maria.
Hi, guys.
Everybody.
Oh my God.
We could get into some major trouble together, couldn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And I love you guys for it.
Oh, right on. Oh, I forgot to put the name. This is hashtag Mindset
2021.
Yep. Mindset 2021. So let's wait until we get a few people in here. Oh, I'm showing 4 people. Hi, Mendy. Mendy, I believe you're the person that started it. I have your link down below to the original video. Everyone can find all of the people that joined in by going to that original video. And we hope to see more people doing this. This is a great hashtag. So thank you for starting it.
Really
get you thinking. Yeah. So what this is about is really just about, taking 2020, the year 2020, the things that we maybe learned in 2020 and carrying that on to 2021. What are our plans kind of thing, maybe goals, yada, yada, yada. I know I've been told I use that word a lot. Or those words, yada, yada, yada. I love Seinfeld. What can I say?
Well, you got to have like a trademark.
Yeah, exactly. So the first question, I'm just going to get right into it because this could take a while. Tell me something good about your divination journey in 2020. So, anyone?
Well, I'll go. All right. So something good about my divination journey in 2021. So 2 things here. And what's cool about this hashtag is it's almost like I didn't even realize this and how important it was this year in my practice till I thought about it. So I appreciate that. So a lot of people know at the beginning of the year, I had started working with Belial a bit and communicating with him. And he taught me that everything going on in the world was as it was supposed to be. No conflict, no change, pretty much. So his message was stop resisting the matrix. And by doing that, I'm relieved of oppression. Therefore, I needed to stay on track of my path, my goals, what I'm manifesting. So through divination, using that with it, I feel like that really helped keep me on track with my messages I would get with tarot. And, it kind of gave me that validation or that, okay, I'm going on the right track here. So keep doing what I'm doing. And I think it was kind of like my own little therapy, even with these tarot messages. It really helped me in my path. And I love that. So staying positive, and it made me realize a lot about that in my path. And I just thought I wanted to share that. So it got me through tough times, that energy. So
right on. Thank you, sweetie. I just want to say hi to Jane and LadyKnight of Avalon. I see her in there too. Lady Blind Wolf. Hi, Tangie. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, everyone.
guys.
And what about you with question 1, Maria?
Well, for me, with everything that's been going on this year, I learned that making plans, that's nice and all, but then life happens and everything can just blow up. So for me, like last summer, I set the intention to have like focus year, maybe 2 years, where I would pick certain topics and really just study them more than anything else. And then, when the lockdown came, I thought, oh, I'm going to have so much time. The opposite happened. I had more work than ever before at work. And so I really didn't get much done. And at first I started feeling kind of like behind, like falling behind, because I had all these plans, and then I was like, oh, what the hell? I'm just gonna play it by ear.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, tell me something good about your divination journey in 2020. I feel like so many things like got amplified in 2020. For what, over 2 months, I had been struggling. What months were these? July and August, or June and July, I think it was, for the full months. And then there was another like half a month that I had gotten an extreme case of gout in both of my feet. And it was going back and forth. And so it was extremely painful to walk. So a lot of things fell by the wayside, except for my divination. I was doing it so much. And Cortney knows, because I was calling her. We were talking every damn day, doing so many spreads. I mean, with my foot up in bed, you know, because I couldn't do much. But that is definitely what I did. And it just, everything got amplified. My vibrations got amplified. My communication from my dreams there for a while went really blank, which was really strange because I've always been a very vivid dreamer, to a point of some of my stuff coming true. And that runs in my family. But there was like, I think it was March and April. I didn't dream at all. I could not understand it.
Same.
But then after that, something happened, something changed, and bam, I was hit with so many dreams. It was crazy. And some of my friends were having corresponding dreams, like we were completing each other's dreams, like different parts of that puzzle, and more than one. I mean, with a few of my friends, they would have a dream and it would correspond with mine. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? And I feel like my grandmother has been reaching out to me. And that's been confirmed in 2 other tarot readings now, that it was my grandmother, which is funny. So yeah, I feel like 2020, although it's been a hard year, it's been definitely, I think the hardship has escalated certain things, certain abilities. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like so much more psychic stuff, divination stuff, so much of that energy spiritually amplified in a lot of us. So I mean, I see it all over the communities, and I think that is something positive and awesome. Even all the chaos, but without conflict we can't evolve. So
exactly right. It was almost like forced hermit energy on all of us.
Yeah.
Where we had to go within and start doing psychology and spirituality and everything, so
it kind of looked like a mass shadow work was going on there for a bit too.
exactly.
A lot of tower moments.
Yeah. Let me see if I'm. Hi, Aquarius. Hi, Sonia. Let me see if I'm. All right.
What's up?
What's up? Well, I'm like old school. I don't do it right. I know it's supposed to just be sup, right? I say, what's up? Is that aging me or what?
With the times, I'm a little, I use some of my old slang, but then I hear my kids and I'm like, oh, lit? Okay, fam, what's up?
I think it was supposed to be, and see, I still get this wrong. It was supposed to be raise the roof. And at one point I was like, let's lift up the roof. My kids are just like, whatever.
Oh my God.
I give up, okay? So the
Awesome.
second question is, tell me something that you would like to change regarding your divination journey from 2020 to 2021. Whoever wants to go first.
I don't want to change anything except going deeper. I want to take it to the next level, see how far I can go and expand on my divination. Because this year I feel like we've learned that we can go deeper within these things. So many doors were open to us this year. So yeah, my goal is to try to expand on that, maybe even create other ways or systems of divination. I really want to do my own divination type of path working. I want to see what I can uncover and discover through it. And I think that's exciting.
Right on. What about you, Maria?
I feel the same. Like, I picked out those topics and I still want to continue doing them. And the 3 topics that I chose were angels, astrology, and past lives. And so I've been doing the first round of the past lives workbook, which was really interesting. And I got to learn a lot about myself. And yeah, come next Mercury retrograde, I think I'm going to start again. And I like doing it during that period because Mercury retrograde is good for all things past. And I think I just want to use that to amplify that a little bit. And then, yeah, I have been doing a lot more reading on angel things and like how to start communicating, listening to like music on YouTube where it has like different sound frequencies, also for meditation. So yeah, that is definitely something that I want to do. Astrology has kind of taken a bit of a back burner for now, or a backseat. But eventually I will come back to that. And something that I'm really interested right now is actually combining tarot and psychology. And that is really interesting. And I'm kind of starting to do like my own spreads, developing stuff of how to look into like the psychological aspect of a person rather than like doing some kind of reading, whether it's predictive or anything, but to like analyze someone.
Yes. Thank you, Tandy. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Yeah. Hi, Jen. Hi, Jen. Hi, Hermit of the High Priestess. Hi, Jamie. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right. Lady Blind Wolf said, you have to wonder with this alignment coming up with Jupiter and Saturn, what's going to happen next. Oh my goodness. So friggin' true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've done towards the end of 2020 was start a podcast. Yay. So that's exciting. And that's like more my style, I think, honestly. So I don't want to have to worry about, I mean, you guys know because we talk all the damn time, right? We do FaceTime all the time, but most of the time I'm in my nightgown. My hair is messy, no makeup, definitely not what I would want to come on YouTube and do. But you don't have to do all that with a podcast. You can just talk. And that's something that we are so good at doing all the damn time.
Yeah.
Right? But on the podcast, I talk about that alignment and what I think is going on with that alignment. And a message that we got in another group about this federation, like alien federation. So there's an important message in there from them.
Which the Israeli gentleman came out, and it's all over the news now that this galactic federation that was mentioned in that message has been working with our government for years, and I mean stuff's coming out, and it's interesting. I'd encourage y'all to listen to that podcast.
Yes. Here's the thing: if it's not real, if that message is not real from the Alien Federation, then fine. What has it hurt us to hear it? But if it is right, and in 3 days, we're going to be starting to experience these things, it's probably good that we hear this message so we know what to do with it, right? So, yeah, I highly recommend it. It's long though, guys. So, I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm not going to read it here. Go to the podcast if you want to hear it, if you're interested. Or you might be in that group and you might already know about what I'm talking about. So tell me something that you would like to change regarding your divination journey from 2020 to 2021. Nothing. I just want to expand on everything. And everything. But that's me. I can't just do one thing. One thing is boring to me. I like to have my fingers in this. But I do think it's important to have some sort of system, that's that Virgo energy, that keeps it all straight for you, right? So that you organize it. But who says that you can't dabble in this and this and this and this and this? I think it depends on the person. And I like dabbling in several areas because I like connecting the dots. I like seeing how this works with this and this works with this. And that's what they were doing. And wow, so.
Well, if you think about it, that's kind of like high school. I mean, we did have different classes throughout the day. We didn't just study one thing, and we still managed to get knowledge. At least, yeah, I hope so.
Exactly. Really?
Different path work, different.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can all pull out a big bunch of books right now, right? Yeah. So the next question is, what have you started but not finished or didn't fully emerge into in 2020?
Well, I started my demon path workings and it took a halt when I got my news with the liver and all. But confident to jump right back into that and hope to keep working with these spirits. And I look back and now, again, this hashtag made me realize that even though I kind of halted that part of my practice, their energies that I'd already worked with was still very much working through me all year. And I kind of didn't realize that till now. So I thought that was really neat. But I want to be more attentive to it. And I want to take the information I gather and start presenting that more on my channel. More of the things I do behind the scenes that I haven't really begun to talk about yet. And work more with these spirits. I'm really interested in how they operate more. Like what are they? why what's their story? What can they do for me? So I'm interested to that's my goal, because that got halted this year and want to pick up where I left off.
Now let me hold that thought just for a minute. Jen says, from the Harmonious Path with Jen, have you watched The Phenomenon or Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind?
Mm-mm.
I've watched the one, what did I call it? The Fourth Kind? It's the one where the lady is a psychiatrist and it's based on a true story. She lives in Nome, Alaska. And there happens to be, I think it's the Fourth Kind. There happens to be like alien stuff. And she starts having issues with some of her patients there. And so she puts them under hypnosis. And when she puts them under hypnosis, all kinds of crazy crap starts happening. And some of the recordings that came back from it were like in an ancient Sumerian voice and saying, like laughing at people saying, gods, we are your gods and stuff like that. And these are like actual recordings of stuff that happened during that time period. And they show like the actual doctor recordings of her. And then they show the actual film, which the one lady from Resident Evil that plays that main character, she played the character. And it was really good. I highly suggest it. But at the end of that, they even talk about how there has been lots of like FBI investigations about Nome, Alaska, because of stuff like that.
Wow.
But I have not heard of Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. So now, I'm going to have to check that out. So, hi, Amber.
Hello, everyone coming in.
Hi, Michelle, or Ishi. Let's see. Those are relatively new documentaries. Phenomenon has high-ranking officials on camera. Fifth Kind is about using meditation to contact entities. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to check them both out. It's just like what I was saying with what is happening with this planetary alignment and that the correlation with the movie The Dark Crystal. And see, I haven't watched The Dark Crystal, but I'm going to have to watch it now. I got to watch all these things. So anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maria, on that question. I think it was.
So I'm kind of going the opposite direction as Cortney is. I'm gonna do my angel work, and I have this book that talks about the 72 like birth angels, and for those who have like the angel tarot or the occult tarot, both of those, like they have the angels and demons, and these are the angels. And in here you get like the different angels. You get here the sigils and stuff, and how to work with them, what each of them does, what their function is, what you can call them for help. But to not just get one side of the story, I also want to like work with the fallen angels and get to know them, so that I have like both sides of the story, and yeah, get to know them and see who might be appealing to me when it comes to working with one of them or multiple of them. And so that is something that I definitely want to continue. And then of course Gabriel, I mean, I'm wearing his necklace all the time, and he's right behind me, so that is something that I definitely want to continue a lot more. I mean, I'm kind of talking to him every day. I have his picture, the picture of that statue at work in my office as well. So yeah, and on a personal level, I think like working with my empath abilities a bit more, instead of like shutting it out and turning it away. Like I don't want to get all these feels. Like I just got this shirt, like get out of my aura. So when people have like too much going on, and I can pick up on that. But I want to like learn to distinguish my own feelings from like other feelings that are coming in, and to really see what's mine, what's not mine, how do I shield myself, and how can I take what I feel and maybe communicating better with other people that are sitting across from me, and when I can pick up on what they're feeling. So that's something that I want to do on a personal level.
You know what? I think it's really important too about the angel bit for you with Gabriel, because I think that Gabriel has been contacting you for quite some time. And that's what all that ringing has been. And you've had that ringing, that obsessive ringing in your ear for how long now?
Since 2005.
Right. Right. And do you think it's getting any better now that you're actually listening or writing things down?
It has definitely changed a bit, and I feel like sometimes when it gets really loud, as if someone is like ringing the phone and trying to come through, and I just keep guessing, like I'm playing 20 questions with them. And when I guess it right, like the volume goes down a little bit, and then that's like my mechanism right now to kind of figure out what's going on or what direction to look at. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm playing with right now, like turning the volume up and down. Like that's like I don't hear any voices or anything, I just hear that sound. But if I can make that change a little bit, then yeah.
I get that, working with the demons as well. So that's cool.
Let me just make sure I'm, as soon as I heard there is a great conjunction occurring, the dark crystal is the only thing I could think of. See, I definitely need to watch that. Let's see. I love that shirt. Did you see what Hermit and the High Priestess said?
I made that, and I'm looking into like how to distribute that, and then I'm gonna have like my own merch.
My own merch, right on. I love it. For me, what have you started but not finished or didn't fully emerge into in 2020? For me, it's just about expansion in everything. I feel like I've not mastered anything. So it's always a continual process of learning more and soaking in as much knowledge as I can, because I honestly feel like knowledge is power, right? I have started journaling, like junk journaling, and I am loving it. Definitely the angel bit. That is something new towards the end, because, you know, this is the funny thing. I was raised Christian. I mean, I went to church camp when I was a kid. I went to Bible school. I even studied with the Witnesses for a couple of years when I was a young mother. And I've never connected with angels until this year. There's a reason for it. I don't understand why. We are going to be doing a series on Cortney's channel, Erie's Witchcraft. That is going to be starting like next week, right? next
Yep.
Saturday.
Yep.
And that's going to be on angels and demons, right? Like their counterparts. So that's going to be really fun. Yeah. So they have definitely been calling out to me as well. I want to get that book. And I think that's really cool because Maria and I yesterday actually sat down and calculated my 3 like angels. I was like, wow, I didn't even know this. So after researching like my astrology and numerology, it's like it's all pieces of a bigger puzzle. Plus, I am doing past life work. You'll probably see this review tomorrow. It's for the art history for past lives, which Maria got me really interested in it. Yeah, we're all enablers. So I have been delving into that. I've done like 4 spreads so far, and the amount of information that I've already found out about my past life is shocking, but it definitely correlates. So there's going to be more of that. I'm actually taking, I paid for this course like 3 years ago, and now I'm finally starting it, which is learning how to be a past life regression therapist. So I've started that in the last like month, 2 weeks. And I know that Maria's started that too. She just got it. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff, but expanding on everything. The art history for past lives too, but I haven't worked with it. Oh, it is amazing. It is so amazing. I just love it.
I just saw the question of how to calculate the birth angels. You can just type in birth angel calculator to YouTube and it will give you a bunch of different sites, and you just enter your birthday and then it will tell you. It will either give you 1 or it will give you 3, depending on what side you're using.
Right.
And if you're on the left-hand path, you should know every angel has its demon counterpart, and you can calculate them by looking at the reversed angel or fallen angel counterpart to those.
Yeah. Very cool. Very interesting. So yeah, just an expansion. So the 4th question is there anything that you intended for 2020 that you didn't accomplish? This doesn't have to be specific to tarot. So was there anything, Cortney?
Oh yeah. I had succubus course was probably one of the biggest for me this year. I was so excited to get that out. I had it all on my phone and then unfortunately lost the data, but I do plan on resetting that goal for this year and trying to get that accomplished because so many people are curious about it, and if I could just provide that information and ritual for them, I think that'd be great. So that's one thing I didn't get to do this year that I really had my mind set on, but I'll probably do next year coming up.
Awesome. And what about you, honey? Maria?
Well, in my astrology studies that I wanted to do, something that I'm really interested in is the Arabian parts or sensitive points. And I looked into a couple of horoscopes this year, more like personal interest, but I really wanted to do more with it and study more. I found some books on the topic that were all pretty much disappointing based on like what I was expecting from them, what I wanted to get. So I'm still, looking for good material on that subject. I have one really good book. Unfortunately, it's only in German, so it's not in English. But yeah, the Arabian parts and what that can tell me about myself in my horoscope, about whether it's like job things, like what am I good at, like going beyond just looking at the planets and the houses. Like where can I meet a spouse? Like, am I better equipped to look at online dating or someone from work or, going on a trip, something like there's so much in these Arabian parts that you can look at. And even like my sister, she asked me to do that for her daughters when they were born right away so that she would know, okay, what could be like fields of interest for them. And both girls are totally different. And yeah, so that you can even do that with a child to see, okay, this could be something that the child might be interested in. and that maybe I shouldn't push that on them just because I want it, and maybe it's not even for them. So yeah, there's so much you can do with these things, and yeah, eventually I'm gonna get back into that.
Cool.
Actually, Maria had done the Arabian parts for me, and she asked if I wanted to, I thought, sure, because I started looking for it and I couldn't find anything on it. And she says, well, the book that I have is in German. I'm like, well, great, that doesn't do me any good. So she did it for me. And I thought it was just like a couple of things. She showed me the page, and it was like, what, 1 or 2 pages full of like all kinds of calculations. I'm like, holy cow. So as she started going through it, I was like, wow, I can't believe how accurate it was, how it like described every like little thing. I was like blown away. So I love the Arabian part. I love astrology. I think it's like another one of those blueprints kind of thing.
Exactly. And you can find the calculations for the Arabian parts online. I think there's even like a Wikipedia page that has all the different calculations. And they're also not that hard to do once you know how to do that. But what you cannot find is the definition. So what does point XYZ in 3rd house actually mean? That's what I'm looking for. And I only have one book that tells me that. And that book doesn't even go into all of the parts, because there's also a point that tells you about your death, which is not written about in the book because the astrologer didn't want people to look for that, which is okay. I don't know if I would want to know that, but yeah, these points, they cover pretty much your entire life.
I would not want to know that.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, of course you do. You're a Scorpio.
Interesting is I've been looking for sources in astrology, and that's mainly my goal to find, because I heard you can like discover that. I want to know. I want to see if my fate is fate. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't that send you on like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of path?
I don't know. I don't know any different, because I don't fear death.
I don't either, but I think if you have that kind of information, that it could change the path of your life, because that's what your new focus is going to be on. I think it could be. But see, that's why I also believe, and this is just my own perception when it comes to like tarot readings and stuff like that, and people that predict. Anybody can predict. I think we all technically do when we're reading the cards. We really do predict. But as soon as somebody knows that future or that possibility, it's so easy for them to change it at that point, right? Because we have free will. So if somebody says, well, I went to that and it didn't end up turning out like that, well, no shit, because you changed it. It's just a possibility. So, but for me, is there anything that you intended for 2020 that you didn't accomplish? Probably my study of like the Thoth tarot. I wanted to go deeper into that, but it's just so detailed. And that is something that I really want to put like really concentrated effort into, because that has to do with like the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life and understanding all that. It is something I do eventually want to get to, but I have other interests that kind of take me in other areas. So it's something that I'm putting on the back burner for now. And if I get bored one day and I don't feel like doing something else, I might read a little bit about that, but I'm not actively, and I say that, but I just watched something about Thoth and the Emerald Tablets, and it was kind of like pulling me back that way again, but I'm just holding off for now. So that. Let's see. The 5th question. What would you do if you were stuck in your house for a year, again, LOL, but with limited internet access and no budget for anything but necessities? This doesn't have to be specific to tarot. So what do you guys think?
I mean, it kind of wouldn't really be too much different than what we've been living through. I mean, I think by the end of this year, we're all kind of like, all right, cool. What can I do about it? But what I noticed about this year being kind of in that situation is I really did go within. I did utilize this in certain ways to make me look deeper, discover other things.
Mhm.
I would obsessively do that again. If it happened, I could see myself falling, which isn't good because we need balance, but I could probably see myself obsessively looking into a bunch of things. But, and then, of course, time with the kids, I've been doing crafts and other stuff. So I think that would pretty much sum it up. Writing, crafts, and occult.
Right on. What about you, Maria?
I think I would have to know what limited access to internet means, because I think without the internet, I would just like, no, that's not me. I mean, I need the internet to connect with all of you. I mean, that's like the main thing that I need it for. And then like recently, for the past 4 weeks, I've been home. So I really had time to do studies and really get into it, do readings, do journaling. And I finally started doing live videos. So with limited internet access, that would go away. And I think I can only do so many card readings for myself without having any other people to talk to. And yeah, sure, I can read my books, but I think eventually I would get really bored. As much of an introvert as I am, but I do need people.
Right.
So I would have to find a way to kind of subsidize that in some way, or else just get on a plane and get to wherever the people are.
Yeah. That is a hard question for me because, I mean, pretty much like you're saying, 2020 has not been a difficult year for me as far as having to stay in the house because that's what I do anyways. You know, I could have been a shut-in. Honestly, I could have been a shut-in. But because I don't like being in large crowds of people, but my internet or my FaceTiming with you guys, that's how I get that connection other than my family when they're home, right? So that is really difficult. But if I had to, it would be a deep dive with no interruptions, not worrying about having to, oh, let's make a video about this, or oh, let's do a podcast about this, or blah, 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 blah. That would not get in the way. And I might end up actually spending more time out in nature rather than sitting in front of this or researching something else. I would have to rely on the books that I had and deep dive with that. So I think that's how it would end up for me. Hopefully more time in nature. Yeah.
Mm.
So the sixth question, do you know your tarot card or tarot year card? Add up your birthday, month, day, in 2021. So Cortney, what's yours, honey?
The Hermit. Is that the only? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yours is a 9 this year. So you're the Hermit.
Hermit. Which, hey, I can see that. I definitely been having that energy.
And what about you, Maria?
Well, on my birthday, I entered my strength year. And so I also have like the star for that as well. And so strength and hope, these are really things that, yeah, they come up again and again. My patience is being tested quite a bit in many different ways, all over the place. And so like really getting myself out of everything for 4 weeks has been good for like my personal sanity. And so I actually had to call in that strength for myself to not really lose my shit. Sorry, can I say that?
Yes, you can. You can say it.
Okay. And yeah, hope is, yeah, I think that will be until next summer when we hopefully get out of this craziness. I mean, even at work now, the opera house where I'm working, I just received word yesterday that until the end of February, everything will be closed. No more rehearsals, nothing going on. So I don't even know what I'm going back to work to Monday morning, if there is anything for me to do, or if they're just going to send everyone into home office. So yeah, and it just keeps going like further and further back down the calendar. And I don't know if this season we will open up at all at any time soon. So yeah, there is always hope for being productive again, because now I feel like it's so chaotic. I miss like a regular schedule, and so yeah, my patience is really being tested, and I just need to hang in there.
Yeah. Bye, Tangie. Thank you for coming, sweetheart. Yeah, there is going to be another one of these panel. I think there's quite a few people in it, and I think it's on Sadhana's channel later on tonight, I think around 8 p.m. So you guys check that out too. Several people are going to be in that answering these questions as well. For me, mine is the death card this year. So does that mean I'm not even going to say it? Okay, I'm not going to say it. But honestly, I don't think it means that. I think it means, transformation, that I am continuing to further in like my psychic abilities. I have definitely been feeling it. I'm getting more messages, synchronicities from several other people, and just continuing to transform, which I have been for several years. It's been a process. So, but if it is the other, then it means the C word got a hold of me, and but either way, it's all good.
Yeah, but when it's death, like 13 also goes like down to 4, the Emperor. So yeah,
Yes.
you're standing strong in there, and you have that foundation, that stability. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Well, it is a 4-year for me too. If you figure out numerology, it is actually a 4-year for me instead of 5, which is the universal. But I did a video on showing you how to find your personal year number, and mine is 4, the Emperor. So I think it's more along that lines. So at least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So the next question is, how do you think that year card will manifest for you in the coming year? Oh. So what do you think? How will that manifest for you?
I think I'm very much in that energy now and have been all year. I think it's going to kind of carry over for a while and then kind of fade, if that makes sense. It does to me. I think it's just going to kind of carry over, manifest, stay there, kind of at the beginning there till things change up again. But yeah, I'm kind of embracing the hermit energy. So I'm not mad at it staying for a bit.
Right. And Maria?
Yeah. So until my next birthday in July, I'm going to stay in the strength and star energy. And then I'm also going into the hermit and the moon. And since I'm planning a trip to America next summer in August, I think that will do a lot with whatever is like going on within me. And yeah, with the hermit, introspection, doing some meditation, also being back in America, which has like a certain pull on me, like it keeps calling me back for some reason. And I think really being there and starting my hermit year over there, I think that's really going to be interesting. Also with the moon, like embracing the unknown, and yeah, possibly even looking at some shadows. Yeah, I'm excited for that, and to start my year like that. Yeah, sure.
I'm excited too, because you're going to be around my house. She's coming to my house, you guys. Yes. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Let's see here. Let me catch up a little bit. Okay, so does that check your tarot card change every year? Yes. Your tarot card changes every year. So what you want to do is take your birthday month, your birthday day, and then add that to 2021. Add it all together, break it down to a single digit, and that is your card. Keep in mind, it is one of, the major arcana. So if you break it down and it breaks down to like 21 first, that's your card. If it breaks down to, then you can go to 3 even further down than that, which would be Empress, right? So that's how you would figure that out. And Mendy, you're a death year too? Yeah. Jen says, the negative ones are some of my favorites because they pretend big changes and rebuilding. And while it sucks in the moment, the end result is always beautiful. Right on. How much
Yeah.
do you really, really spiritually grow when everything is peachy keen? You don't.
I
You
had
don't.
my Tower year last year, so that was like a big.
Yeah. I mean, if your aim in life is to continue to spiritually grow and learn and evolve to the next level, then you are planning those kind of things in your life. You're planning those tower moments and you're putting people in your life. This is the way I believe, because I believe that we chart them out beforehand. I truly do. So I believe that you put those obstacles in your way. And when if you find someone that has a whole bunch of trials and tribulations in their life, I feel like that person is a friggin' rock star. Honestly, a rock star, spiritually very advanced. So, oh, you're going into a devil year, Jen.
Ooh,
Ooh, baby.
nice.
Okay, so Jonathan says, Amber says, I'm hanged man for 2021. Fun. And Jonathan says, depending on how you calculate, I'm going into either a hanged man or a world year. That was mine last year. That was my 2020, was the world. That's the way I chose it, or the hanged man, but I chose the world.
Hmm.
And I think we have a choice in that too, don't you? I think we literally have a choice. We've got free will.
I think for me, I'm using both because I can see both of them having certain aspects that I need to consider. Like I need the strength, I need the patience, I need to do all that stuff and, like wooza myself every once in a while. But I also need that hope so that I know what I'm working for.
Yeah, exactly. I did want to also put, Lady Blind Wolf says, seems like with all of this isolation due to the pandemic, people are working more on their path and getting stronger. Maybe you were receiving messages that some don't want us to know. Exactly right. Due to the synchronicity.
Oh my God,
my
Raven
goodness.
Morning Glory has Gabriel as an angel. Woo! Hey.
Nice.
What was that? I just realized I calculated my card wrong for 2020. I thought it was 572. Wait a minute. I've been thinking it was my tower year. Turns out it was actually the chariot. Tower makes way more sense. Ah, right. Right. I had to go find my angels right. Oh, okay. Wonderful. That's what you were just saying. Wow. Okay. I will really need your help. I have such a block with numbers. And whether I added single digits or full figures, it comes to a death year transformations. Well, see, for me, actually, it could also be 22. It could be 22, which you could look at as the Fool, because in some systems, they look at the Fool as the 22nd card or 0. So I always say it could be 0 to 22. And it was 22 or 13 or 4. But I'm going to choose whatever one I want. But I choose the death. That resonates more with me.
I mean, if you break it down, you couldn't really get down to a 0, right? So you would have to go with a 22 for the Fool. Can you get a 0?
Right, exactly. You
Yeah.
can't. It would have to be 22. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, in different systems, they count the 22 as the Fool
Mhm.
card
Yeah.
instead of 0. So, for 20, Lady Blindwolf said, the last time you and I talked, I was the chariot for 2020. I'm a little nervous to see Hip Hop 2021. All right. So let's see. What was the next question? 8. Do you have a particular word or theme that you are planning for 2021? Cortney?
I have a few themes. Not really a word. I mean, my demon work, higher dimensional beings, and probably more on sex magic and writing, literature. That's probably my theme I'm focusing on right now. But for those who know me, that can change in a day, a week, or a month.
And what about you, Maria?
I think my big word for next year will be hope, because that to me is like so many things in so many areas. And yeah, I have to remind myself to keep it, not to lose it, and work with it.
Mine is expansion. I just want to keep expanding on what I have been already learning and trying to expand my own like energy field, get it raised up as high as I can and then expand it so that I am not just helping myself, but I am helping those around me as well. So that's my word, is expansion. What about you guys? What are your words? And as she says, 2021 is the Hierophant year. Yes, it is. That is a universal thing, though. So just like in numerology, it would be the 5. So in numerology, it would be the 5 meaning, but that's the universal meaning. In order to get your personal, you do calculations based on like your birthday and stuff. Both reduced to the 3, the Empress. So Jonathan says, the 2 systems that I've learned is using my birthday or, yeah, and how you add it. Yes.
Now I'm going to change that because now that you guys said it, I have a better understanding about the word thing. Mine's going to be manifestation.
Right on. Yeah, I like it. Okay, and the last one we got here is, what mindset do you want to establish for 2021? Please expound on how you will implement and track this if you have anything planned yet. Cortney?
Positivity and possibility. I want to have that mindset. I'm in a very good mindset, similar to that right now. And I want to raise the vibration and the possibility in my imagination, my mind going forward, and positiveness. And if I just cannot see the positive, how I'm going to implement that is in one of my journals here, I have specifically for this purpose, I'm going to write the negative situation and then force myself to see it and find the flip side or the positive. Because where there is one, there is always the other. Even if we don't always see it, sometimes we have to soul search to find that. And I want to stay directed and focused on that positive energy.
Beautiful. Maria?
I think for me, it's more about compassion for myself, for others. And so I'm really going into that psychology. And one of the decks that I'm going to be using a lot is that archetypes deck, because I have been doing some readings with that. And that is like some really serious shadow work. And yeah, so I'm also starting to develop some of my own psychology spreads to look into something. And I want to do that to get to know myself, others, and to really, communicate from a place of compassion, not take everything that someone says right then in that moment, actually reflect on it and see like what's behind it. Because a lot of times what's being said up front might not even be what's like really behind it. And so that's what I want to get into a little bit more.
Right on. Bye, Jen. Thank you for coming, sweetheart. As she says, I believe my birth cards are Temperance and Hierophant. So these are like my shadow cards on a Death Hierophant year. See, I look at the Hierophant as being your like your shadowy side of your Temperance, or is it Temperance that is the shadowy side of your, because you, to the best of my understanding, your core cards or life path number, or your core cards is based on your life path number. So I take it you're a life path 5. And then your shadowy part of that would be Temperance. So Hierophant being like that teacher or teachable moments, always with Temperance being always trying to find balance. That's like your shadow, always working on your balance. That's the way I look at it. I could be wrong, but so mine is 8 strength. So my shadow would be the star. So maybe, I don't know, because I do find hope in everything. I'm pretty optimistic. So I don't know how that works. But I do look also at the star card as a star seed. I look at that as like showing like a star seed. So, granted, I think we're all star seeds, but I don't know. Do you think that crystals and meditation and keeping at the shadow work in order to raise my vibration? Absolutely. I think whatever you're doing that makes you more self-aware is raising your vibration and putting it back out, as long as you're remembering that your thoughts and your emotions create your world, your reality, right? So
Yeah.
you think about and you focus on the things that you want in your life. So I definitely think crystals can raise up your vibration. I think going out in nature and being around, being in the sunshine, I think being around trees and plants and loving on your animals and anything that brings you joy pretty much raises your vibration. So
I agree. I just say, with the shadow work, though, just try not to get too down on yourself while going through it. When we face these aspects of ourselves, it's about, acceptance, loving the detested parts of yourself. So focus more on that than, oh my gosh, I don't like this about me.
see, I'm sorry, go ahead, sweetie.
When I do the shadow work, like especially with the psychology stuff, I'm like, oh, that's why I'm doing it. Ah, that makes sense. So that's kind of my approach.
See, I don't look at shadow work as difficult. I find it liberating. I'm not emotionally, I look at it more as an observer. So just like past lives or whatever, I'm not emotionally in it. It's about, for me, with everything, gathering more data, more information so that I can see what my patterns have been. And it actually helps me go, oh, so that's why I reacted to that person so strongly, right?
Exactly.
Rather than just being that victim.
Right.
It's more about, realization. It sweeps over you. And then you can start functioning better because of that realization. That's awakening. That's what the awakening process is, in my opinion, is just
having those aha moments. Yeah.
So the mindset for me, it's just, well, in my, let me find it really quick. In my planner, what did I put? Because I already kind of had to do this for the next year. And watch, when I'm looking for it, I can't find it. That's typical, right?
Bye, Jonathan.
Thank you for coming. So what I'm drawing into my life in 2021 was unconditional love, romance, and other things with my hubby that I won't mention here. Great friendships, prosperity and security, becoming a great tarot reader, being a prosperous tarot reader, because that's what I want my career to be. Having great health, happiness and peace, awesome conversations, finding, more knowledge of astrology, opportunities, connections, and truths, and raising my vibration. And then the next thing I talked about was how I'm going to achieve those things. So like action plans, things that I can do in my life that helps me to do that. And the number one thing is do shadow work. That's like my number one thing. But I think shadow work is also doing past life work, doing astrology, doing anything that has to do with your blueprint and understanding why you are the way that you are. And then learning how to work through that. And tarot is one of those things. I look at tarot and all of the archetypes being like different stages of our life and how we work through it, right? So I see it very much as like psychology too. So
I use the hero's journey in the same way, and you can incorporate that, the tarot, and all we just talked about with shadow work with that. It's amazing. I just take these archetypes and point them out in myself.
Right on. Absolutely. So let me just, so unsure, so new to all of this, love your guidance and everyone else's. I use a site that doesn't give much info, so more delving. And that's what it is always. Always more. Don't take one source either. Research, read books, but ultimately just trust yourself. That's the way I see it. Yeah, seeking answers from within or from others with knowledge, Hierophant. Yeah, absolutely. I look at the Hierophant as teachable moments, being a teacher sometimes and being a student sometimes. And I think we have those dynamics with everybody. There are going to be times that we learn from our children and learn from our parents and learn from our friends and learn from the stranger down the street, right? Learn from our animals, learn from nature, and then turn around and teach to somebody else. So
even in those people that we don't like, that rub us the wrong way, even there is a teachable moment. Like my uncle always says, everyone's good for something, even as a bad example.
Exactly. It is really weighing me down, but I am trying to figure out and heal. Ancestor past life stuff, along with what I need to heal myself from. Yeah. And that was Lady Blind Wolf. And as she says, I think we will come to value why are there so many people on the planet, because not one person has all the answers, along with why 2 ears and 1 mouth to do twice as much listening as speaking. Yes, meta and not just sentient beings. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, even in connecting, like just us and our group, it has brought me so much further along in my entire journey, just bouncing ideas off of one another and hearing something new and then going to research that again and like incorporating all of that. Like this community that has brought me like further along than any of my, like if I studied 10 years on my own.
Absolutely. But I mean, I look at you guys like you, and I know that this ultimately is the case, but I look at you guys as extensions of myself and vice versa. We are all extensions of each other.
Yeah.
So finding those people that just inspire you and support you and just get you, you know what I mean? Even if you're wrong, they're still like, I got your back. I don't care. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
I love it. So well said, ladies.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This has been really good. I loved all of these questions. Really great questions. I hope other people end up doing this as well. And we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye, guys. And thank you.
Next time.